The Cadillac Escalade is the embodiment of an American luxury SUV, the biggest of luxury SUVs, the most tech-filled of luxury SUVs. It's essentially a rolling mansion on wheels and has now been electrified with this, the Escalade IQ. So Cadillac uses IQ to denote their electrified vehicles, but it's typically one word for the name. You have the Celestiq, the Vistic, Optic, Lyric, but Escaladic just doesn't sound quite right, and you have the Escalade name, so Escalade IQ. The spec sheet on this thing is pretty crazy to read because it's just so much of everything. An estimated 465 miles of range on a full charge from a 205 kilowatt hour battery pack, 24-inch wheels, adjustable height, air suspension. You have a 55-inch dash-to-dash screen. You have rear steering, power open and closing doors, 38 speaker sound system. It just goes on and on. And of course, it's going to be pretty expensive. This one has been optioned at just over $150,000. And what is it like to live with? We're gonna find out this week. Welcome to the Cadillac Escalade IQ. Welcome sequence of the taillights.
What does the 1000 EA stand for?
E4, all-wheel drive, 1,000 Newton meters of torque. We're making our way over to out-of-office garage to do a bit of work. We're kicking off the week with 92% charge, which is showing 429 miles of range, which is quite a lot courtesy of a utterly gigantic battery pack. So if I just swipe like that, your door will open.
Pretty cool.
Automatically, and then we can close it like this. You can stop it if there's an emergency, but there we go. Isn't that cool?
If there's a car next to us,
yeah,
it senses that it'll stop midway, right?
Yep, it won't just open into a wall or something. So go ahead and open my door, open your door. Oh!
Whoa.
Okay, so if you open the driver door, the car turns off and your door doesn't want to open anymore. You just pull up on that little silver handle.
This, right?
Yeah, just pull it, let go. So you don't have to use a touchscreen. There's a couple different ways.
I'd rather just do that.
Yeah, you can just do that. And when you exit, you can either pull the handle up or you can press on the actual handle itself. Do this, and the door closes. Or, soft closing, press that, it opens, and then press it one more time, and it closes. And I will simulate being in the way. So I'm gonna stand right here. I go open. It stopped. It did not hit me.
Nice.
You never have to strain yourself slamming a door ever again.
Ultimate luxury.
Yes, that is luxury. Things you don't necessarily need, but are still nice to have. I'm gonna get so used to not having to open and close doors all of this week. The driver's side, you can get in and just put your foot on the brake and the door will close. The vehicle starts up and it's getting dark out, so you see some of that interior ambient lighting. That's like laser cut pattern in the wood, so it shines through that trim. So during the day, you won't see that pattern, which is pretty cool. And then the massive 55-inch screen. This is an absolutely enormous amount of screen, and doesn't end there. You have the lower screen here, and then we have screens in the back. You've got your screens, and then there's another one down in the middle there. So yeah, this is like a Best Buy worth of TV screens in your Escalade IQ. Yeah. There is the executive rear seat package, which is like ultra luxe in the second row with airline, like the tray tables that come out. This one does not have an option.
Oh, I see.
There you go, cup holder test. Okay. Babe, we've got 2 cup holders here. That's good, right? You want 8 up front though.
Yeah. I like
but
more cup holders. The more the better for me.
Pretty big storage space.
Really deep.
You know what else is cool though? We have 2 wireless phone chargers. So
I saw it. One here, one here.
Yeah, so I can put my phone and charge it here, and you could put your phone and charge it there.
I like that. It's very passenger centric, I feel like.
Yeah, and you got your passenger screen. You want to watch YouTube? We are out in Birmingham, and just down Woodward is Dairy Deluxe. So, babe, you want to get some ice cream?
I'm always down for ice cream.
Oh, I was talking to Preston, actually.
Oh, you call me baby.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Sorry.
babe.
Preston doesn't want ice cream. We're going to go get a little bit of ice cream.
What's
Oh,
the difference between this one and the one that you had in LA?
So in LA, I had the Escalade V, which that's gas powered. So that is a supercharged V8. It's ridiculously loud. It's hilarious and just kind of a different personality. It's the V series. That thing is louder than my Corvette, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which one's better?
Different. This is...
Less powerful, I'm assuming?
This actually is more powerful, but it weighs probably an entire Honda Civic more than the Escalade V. This thing is very heavy, like 9,000 something pounds. Like it's a big one because of the battery pack. This has more tech. This one is definitely, the EV platform gives you way more technology, and the Escalade V is just for sheer hilarity. I averaged 12 mpg during my week of driving that thing. I think I spent $700 in gas because it's Cali and you're running premium. Oh yeah, it was silly. When you think you're special with the Escalade IQ, and then somebody parks next to you, oh wait, no, that's a Vistic.
Oh.
That's a slightly smaller version. Ooh, look at that welcome sequence. This is the baby Escalade IQ. It's slightly smaller, but it's still a 3-row. Yeah, this is the Vistic. They look so similar. Coming around back, you'll be able to tell the difference more. Well, obviously, because it has the badge, Vistic. 900 E4, so that's slightly all-wheel drive still. 900 instead of 1,000, but this one is the Vistic, and this one is the Escalade IQ. Yeah, I'm getting really used to not having to, swing a door shut on my own. Heading out for a productive day. I have some dry cleaning to drop off, so let's go ahead and put it in the front trunk of the Escalade. The button is down here, press that, and the front E-trunk will open up. It's a pretty deep one, like it goes really far back. And then throw this in here. I can't reach the back of that, but they sell this like accessory that's like this like slide out tray table thing. This one doesn't have it on it, but it doesn't go really deep down this way, decently wide, but it really goes pretty far that way because that's the length of the hood on this behemoth. Close the trunk, press that. To get full power and torque, you press the red V button on the steering wheel, and then if you floor it, that's not doesn't feel crazy quick, but it does when you consider how big this thing is. Because of the air suspension, there's a good amount of like squat and like lifting of the front end when you're in something like this. It just can't quite fight the mass. They say on paper, this, I believe, is supposed to be quicker than the Escalade V 0 to 60 because it has way more power and torque, even though it weighs so much. But it doesn't have, obviously, the drama of the Escalade V from that supercharged V8. I feel the weight turning. Oh boy. When you use the turn signal, you get a camera view here in the center cluster. It's not particularly high resolution. I mean, look at that gas station. It's like 17 pixels, but it is a nice feature. I do wish they would put it in the main cluster screen here, not take over the center infotainment screen. I mean, you have so much screen real estate here, and it does take over, like if you have navigation running. That being said, you still have navigation in the middle. It's in the heads-up display, so you have multiple ways of still seeing it. You can also turn off that turn signal camera view functionality. It's really good for that mirror because this thing is so big and heavy. You have flat glass on that side. I remember the first time I drove one of these vehicles in this class, it might have been the Silverado EV or something, and I was like, why does the passenger side view mirror look kind of weird and warpy? And it's because I guess the regulations are for something in the GVWR of like 10,000 pounds, you have to have flat glass there for whatever reason. And in case you didn't know, normally side view mirrors have a little bit of curvature to them, and that's why it says like objects in mirror may be closer than they appear, whatever the verbiage is. But that is a little quirk of the Escalade IQ, and it is nice to have the camera view, but again, you can turn that functionality off if you don't like it. So indicate right, close up that one, and it just shows you your blind spot. I think it's because the camera resolution isn't the top tier one, and you have such a large display of that. Like for example, in Hyundai Kia Genesis vehicles, there's just a little less circle that shows up in the cluster. And it looks fine because it's less pixel usage. Bunch of giant EVs. We have a Silverado EV, the Lightning, and the most luxurious of all, the Escalade IQ. So actually there's not that much space in between this truck and the Escalade. So okay, let's see. If I go to open the door, will it stop? Oh yeah, it will stop, but I'm not getting in there. So there's limitations to the power opening doors. Gotta be careful there. So Angel's gonna stay in the car as I run in the drop-off dry cleaning. And if you wanna leave the car running, you have this option right here. Your vehicle will remain on for 60 minutes. Make sure your battery has sufficient charge. Okay. Because normally, if I didn't do that and I just got out, when you leave the driver's seat, it just turns off, right? But I wanna obviously leave it on. To give you an idea of scale, we have a Suburban parked next to us, and the Escalade IQ it's taller. Things are absolutely massive. Look at the height, side view mirror versus here. This thing is enormous, and there's an even longer version with the IQL. Quick Costco practicality test. So you can press the badge on the back of the Escalades and the trunk will open. We could use the front trunk, but we've got like our clothing bags in there and I don't want them smelling like Costco rotisserie chicken. So plenty of space back here. That is probably the wall charger in a very nice case actually. Wow. All right. If you need more space, they make the IQL, but this is going to be plenty for...
Do they actually?
They make a longer
version of this?
A longer version of this, yeah. Yeah, even more gigantic
really?
than this. Yep.
But that's only 3 rows in that one? Well,
No, this one's 3 rows too. It's just more space. And it's mainly cargo space in the back.
Mainly cargo space.
Yeah, because this one doesn't have as much when you have the folded
Why would
up.
you need cargo space if you have the back trunk and then the front as well, you know?
Imagine you have a family of 6 and you need your luggage and your camping stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Some people want the extra space. Yep. These vehicles are not for, I mean, some people do, but like they're not really designed for us as just like a couple of two. It's a little overkill to have an Escalade. I mean, plenty of people do it, right? How many people drive Range Rovers and it's just them by themselves? But it's really designed for big families and stuff.
I feel like if I had all that cargo space, I would just keep a bunch of stuff in my car. Like it would just be cluttered. It would be handbags, shoes, and...
Your whole closet. Actually,
yeah, exactly.
You know, that's a good solution. I currently don't have any space in our walk-in closet because Angel is taking up all of it. What do you mean? I have my clothes in a teepee. So if I get you a bigger car, we can just move all of your clothes, handbag, and shoes into the car, and then I can hang my clothes up.
To be fair, you'll have your own closet and then you'll have... So, there you go. Problem solved, right?
There used to be a restaurant there, but it got bulldozed, and it looks like Costco's building an even larger gas station there. That's my guess is what that is. Costco needs to do like charging stations. Kirkland Electricity, I would be there. Wholesale electricity. Buy 1 electron, get 1 electron free. Come in a pack of 17,000 kilowatt hours. I do love the maneuverability of this thing with rear-wheel steering. It makes it really easy to park and move around in parking lots. It makes a huge difference when you're in something this big. We just hit 50% indicated battery left, and it's showing 240 miles of range remaining. I cannot emphasize how impressive the range is on this thing. Yes, the battery pack is enormous. It weighs as much as probably a Honda Civic, but this thing just completely destroys any sort of range anxiety. Like, it is properly impressive. And it's not like I've been driving efficiently this week. I've been putting it in V mode and flooring it, massage seats, cooled seats, whatever, and it's just doing totally fine. Now, in the winter, you would see a bit of reduction in range. I did see that in the Silverado EV, but it was still properly impressive. This thing can charge very quickly. And an interesting question is, why does this get so much more range than the Hummer with the same size battery pack, and they both weigh a ton? Well, aerodynamics. Aerodynamic efficiency is a huge deal on EVs. It can really help you maximize your range, and this is much more aerodynamically and just overall efficient compared to the Hummer EV. Tires are also a factor. The Hummer obviously comes on more aggressive off-road capable tires. This apparently is the most aerodynamic full-size GM SUV ever. They made little tweaks to make sure it's even more efficient aerodynamically than the gas-powered Escalade. Like even things like the crease on like the tail light edge, how air flows around it. You have grille shutters and things like that that just are trying to make this, I mean, behemoth of a vehicle. It is enormous. Slightly more efficient. Oh, cool. All of a sudden I got the Super Cruise icon in the cluster, so press that. This road is Super Cruise enabled. I can go hands-free. Something I like a lot is the regen braking on-demand paddle here. And it's not just a on-off little pull, it's actually pressure sensitive, so you can modulate it like a brake pedal. So if you pull it gently, it just lightly does some regen braking, but you can pull it pretty hard and it will slow the vehicle pretty aggressively with maximum regen braking. So I'm approaching my turn. Let's see if I can time it and not use the actual brake pedal. So I'll lightly pull it as I'm slowing down. Actually, that was way too early. A little bit more. Okay, now I'm gonna pull it full hard. Yep, that slows pretty nicely. If you ever wanted to know how to make an Escalade IQ seem small, bring a 4x4 square G-Wagon. Yeah, that thing is comically massive with the portal axles and a lift. What? Why do I feel so tiny? On the freeway now, we have Super Cruise. Everything is green, so full hands-free. I just sit here paying attention. And Super Cruise can also make lane changes. So if I indicate right, it'll check everything. There's space, auto lane change, changing lanes. Ta-da! All fully hands-free. But you saw I had to request that one with the turn signal. Super Cruise will also decide to make a lane change on its own. You saw right there was slower moving traffic, so it'll do an auto lane change, check your blind spot, make sure it's good to go, perform the lane change, and that's fully hands-free. So it'll pass cars for you, it'll move over to the right, and it's just getting better and better as time goes on. This is pretty impressive. It's raining quite hard. Visibility is not ideal, but Super Cruise is still running. I am paying extra attention now because, as you can tell, there's quite a lot of rain, right? The lane lines aren't as clear. I've got windshield wipers turned to max, but Super Cruise it's running. If it wasn't able to see the lane markers, it would tell me. It's like, hey, please take over, you have to drive right now. But, I mean, it's doing everything fine right now. You just saw it did a lane change on its own. So it says construction zone detected. Don't know if that's being triggered by the rain or if there is construction coming up, because right now there's no construction on the road right now. It looks like it's fine. It is Michigan though, you never know. Traffic, the orange traffic barrels, those are the state flower of Michigan because they just start sprouting when the weather gets nicer, you know. That Sprinter van should have his lights on though. That's a little bit sketchy not to have lights on. 39%, still showing 185 miles of range. I might not have to charge this thing at all this week. Those tire pressures are ridiculous. 63 up front, 74, 73 out back. I mean, it is a very, very heavy, large vehicle. Whew, that is a very high tire pressure. I'm used to seeing that with the Silverado EV, GMC Sierra EV, the same thing. I mean, they're the same platform vehicles, right? But yeah, that's a lot. Here's the nighttime welcome sequence with the Escalade IQ. So the logo lights up, and then the grille, a flash of the indicators, and then the DRLs fill in. There's a whole light dance. And then there's the front fascia lighting. We also have one in the rear. So you go ahead, unlock, and those individual segments of the taillight have that animation dance. 1.8 miles per kilowatt hour over the last 1,000-ish miles. Yeah, that's the result of having 700-something horsepower and a lot of weight to drag around. Although this trip I did 2.2. All right, good job, Eddie. That's still not phenomenal efficiency, but you know, it's better. As it's getting dark, let's take a moment to check out the exterior styling of the Escalade IQ. So we have adjustable height air suspension, which is currently in its lowest ride height setting, entry-exit, for ease of getting in and out. And then you have the regular one and an increased setting, which gives you just a little bit more clearance. It's not going to be as extreme as something like the Hummer EV in terms of the air suspension height, because that thing is more for off-roading. Now, from a styling standpoint, for the Escalade IQ, they approached this with a clean sheet ground up redesign, but it still had to look unmistakably an Escalade, which can be accomplished just given the size and scale of this thing. It's huge, right? You're not going to mistake this for anything other than an Escalade, but Cadillac is doing a really, really good job with maintaining a consistent styling look across their lineup, across different kinds of vehicles in different segments, like the vertical blade DRL lighting, right? That's unmistakable. If a modern Cadillac vehicle is driving towards you at night, you definitely know it is a Cadillac vehicle, even on like the race cars. Take a look at the LMDH race cars. It's got the same kind of blades of lighting. It's really cool. We have the awesome startup animation with this like etching pattern on the front shield here. The animation on the DRLs, how they fill in little pieces right there. It's really, really cool. And it ties in so nicely, this face with the Lyric, the Optic, the Vistic, even Celestic, right? So they're doing a really good job from that styling standpoint. Now versus the gas-powered version, right? Unmistakably an Escalade, but you can kind of tell that it's the EV one because it ties in with the other Cadillac EV styling. And it looks to my eyes like a little narrower, maybe a little swoopier looking, definitely the side profile, the way it kind of tapers down back here. The gas-powered version definitely looks a little bit more boxy. Now the IQL, the long wheelbase version, does does seem a little more squared off on the rear, but it still is a distinct personality, but ties in nicely with the other gas-powered Cadillac Escalades. And the rear lighting is so cool. We have like this piano key effect for the taillight. I really like that. And you have the piece of the bodywork here that kind of cuts through the taillight, whereas on the gas one, you have the big taillight bar, just a little bit more tapered back here. You have the cool animation also, Escalade IQ badge, and on the other side it says 1000 E4, 1000 Newton meters of torque, E4 all-wheel drive. You can press on the Cadillac crest, the badge on the back, to open the tailgate. And then we have the charging door right here. Go ahead, press that. It's power open. A little bit of illumination. And then press that button. It power closes. These are 24-inch wheels. Yeah, those are pretty gigantic. We have the rear wheel steer for arrival mode, rear steer for parking lot maneuverability. You can actually see this gigantic 24-inch wheel with the 35-inch OD tire moving. We have the fixed side steps here. And this color is called Deep Space Metallic. It's like a dark metallic bluey gray. As the sun is setting, it's harder to see now, but it is a really cool color, and it very nicely matches the interior blue spec on this one. I don't need to charge it that much because the Escalade is going away tomorrow, but whoa, 660 miles per hour, still going up, 320 kilowatts, 321 kilowatts. That is impressive. Wow. Okay. That makes me happy to see. Obviously, it's not going to sustain that all the way to full. It does slow down, but that's good. Okay, I'm not going to be here for very long then. I don't know what happened, possibly because all the charging stations are occupied again, but the charging rate did just drop a lot. We're down to 174 kilowatts. Not a big deal, because I'm just going to probably get to like 30% and I will head out. I'm getting so used to never having to open and close my door. Foot on the brake, the door power closes. So nice. All right, so final thoughts on what it has been like to live with the Escalade IQ this week. This thing is, of course, very nice, and it needs to be for the price. This one has been optioned to about $154,000, and that's a lot of money. This one is a Escalade IQ regular Sport 2, so you can either do Sport or Luxury. It doesn't change the power or the suspension. It's just kind of the Persona theme, so Sport 2, and there are more options you can add on to these things. You can have the executive second row package I mentioned. You can do the long wheel IQL, so like you can option one of these to about like 170. That second row package does add a lot to the price, but 154, a lot of money, but you do get a lot of things. Let's start off with some of the pros. The tech and luxury is pretty fantastic, right? Power open and close doors, Super Cruise hands-free driving, heated, cooled massage seats. The massage seats are pretty nice. Lots of speaker sound system, tons of screens, like lots of the fun bells and whistles you expect out of a luxury vehicle in this segment and price point. Another pro, I think, is the range. It is massive, right? And you're actually going to get 400 plus miles. I know it has a enormous battery pack. It is not that efficient for an EV because it's so big and heavy. And yeah, the battery pack is just massive. It's going to be expensive to charge, but the result of that is you get enormous range, and that's really nice to have. Like driving this platform vehicle, whether the Silverado EV, Sierra EV, this thing, like I don't worry as much about how far I have to go. And if I had a home charger, I just charge it up. And yeah, it's going to be expensive to charge this thing, but you're buying a $150,000 big luxury SUV, so it's okay. So I do really like the range. Super Cruise, fantastic. I think the materials are pretty good too, design, things like that. Now, some of the cons, things I don't like. I mentioned the weight, and you feel that. When you're driving, bumps, when the road gets a little rough, you definitely feel just the motion and things like that. It can't completely isolate you in a cocoon. Some of these like really good luxury SUVs or sedans, you just float. You barely feel it. Range Rover Autobiography, it was fantastic. It's just like wafting down the road. This can't do that. It's just too heavy and big. 24-inch wheels look good. They're huge. 24-inch wheels are huge. I don't like the flat glass on the passenger side. It really bugs me. Now, when you have the camera pull up, the turn signal camera, it helps, but I have not gotten used to flat glass on the passenger side. It really messes with my eyes when I'm looking over there, and I don't like that, and that's regulation. It's so big and heavy, it needs that. So all of them in this platform require that. What else do I dislike? Nothing. I mean, nothing stood out. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so problematic. It has a lot of the really nice ingredients, and I've enjoyed living with this thing this week. It's crazy expensive. I have no need for something like this, right? Like Angel and I were talking, like it's complete overkill. We don't have a family of 6, right? We don't have 4 children who need space back here. But if you do, and you want to convert from the gas-powered one to try this thing out, you're getting a lot. This versus Escalade V, the purist in me still wants the supercharged V8, but I think this is better to daily drive. If you have charging at home, I think this is better to daily drive for the similar price point. Now, competitors, there really isn't anything. There's no EV version of the Lincoln Navigator. Bentley Rolls. I mean, there's nothing. There's no huge EV luxury vehicle. An R1S is smaller. A Kia EV9 smaller. Hyundai Ioniq 9. Like Genesis doesn't have something. There isn't anything to really directly cross-shop this against. You're going up against the gas-powered conventional full-size body-on-frame luxury truck SUVs like a Navigator, Grand Wagoneer, the Infiniti QX80, the Cadillac Escalade. You can go against some of the Germans, Mercedes EQS. It's small compared to this thing, right? This is the most American. It's enormous. The Hummer is the most Hummer of EVs. This is the most Escalade of EVs, right? They're just like big luxury. Go America. But I did enjoy spending some more time living with this thing. If I had a need for one, I think I would consider it. Just Super Cruise is so nice, and yeah, this was a good week living with it. I'm gonna have to get used to opening and closing my own doors next week. That is a feature you can get on the gas-powered ones, I believe. I think they added that too, and this interior screen set and everything. So yeah, you are really just picking your propulsion system. Weight, lots of it, lots and lots of weight. Everything is heavy now. An M5 is 5,400 pounds. So when you think about that a BMW M5 is 5,400 pounds, is it that much of a crime for an Escalade IQ to be 9,000 pounds? I don't know. Comment below what you guys think of the Escalade IQ. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog coming along living with the Escalade IQ. Thanks for watching.